GTA, we talked about Pearson. We're now going to talk about transit in our own cities, and Martin Powell is the Commissioner of Transportation for the City of Mississauga, responsible for the Huron-Ontario LRT in both Mississauga and Brampton. Martin?
Thank you, Brian. What I'd like to do is maybe start off with how did we get to where we are today? And when you think about it, much of the investment over the last 30 years, not only in Mississauga but in the Western GTA, has really been investment in low-rise suburban-style development. And all of the investment in infrastructure, I shouldn't say all, but the majority of the investment has been in transportation that's really being built to move cars rather than people. So when we look at where we are today, we're in a situation where, through places to grow, which is a good thing, we're trying to contain the development and have much smarter development. But what's happening is we are now focusing on density, and we talk about the growth that's happening and the growth that's going to happen in the GTA. And as I like to look at it, there aren't a lot of roads that we're going to build. There's going to be a lot more people coming, and so we're going to have to focus on transit and other modes of travel. And when we look at Mississauga, even if Mississauga isn't growing as fast as the other municipalities, there is lots of growth happening around us, in Brampton, in Milton, in Oakville, in Burlington, and that traffic is either destined to work in jobs in Mississauga, or they're driving right through Mississauga. So we're having to deal with congestion on our roads. And when we look to the future, there will be more growth, and a lot of the growth that we have in Mississauga is going to be centered in corridors like Huron-Ontario, and some of those. It's not just the people that we're going to be accommodating, we're going to be accommodating new jobs, hopefully. And this corridor is very important to us, and is one of the reasons why we're looking at our light rail transit along the Huron-Ontario corridor in partnership with Brampton, because we see this as a transformational corridor that can accommodate travel on one corridor and have people live, work, and play on that corridor because of the mixed-use opportunities on the corridor. So that's very good, that's smart growth. We're also looking right now, we're constructing our BRT or transit way in partnership with GO Transit and Metrolinx, east-west across the city. This is going to allow us to move people on buses much quicker. So we're really looking to get people out of their cars. We're also investing in cycling. We developed a cycling master plan, and the city has quite aggressively in the last few years invested in cycling. And this is great because even for those that are really trying to use transit, they may start their trip they're obviously going to start by walking, but they may cycle, they may use transit, and that creates a much more dynamic transportation network. But when we look to the future, and we saw the big move presentation that Bruce brought forward, we need to have a very interconnected regional transportation network, but it's going to require significant investment, and particularly in the transit, that's where the huge cost is. We look to the projects I just mentioned, but we also see that the GO Rail network is extremely important, as is the GO Bus network in the GTA. We also need to invest in things like advanced traffic management systems. We know we're still going to have to accommodate cars, we also have to accommodate trucks and movement, and I know in the city we're looking at an advanced traffic management system, much more dynamic, being able to respond to incidents. And we can't forget about the highway infrastructure, particularly from the goods movement point of view. We need strategic investment in corridors like 401 as well as 410. So the bottom line is, I think the public is ready for investment in transportation. I think we know that. The surveys tell us that that's number one priority for our residents. We know that property tax, we heard about that this morning, cannot fund all of these improvements. DCs can't fund it all. We need another form of investment. We need the help of our federal as well as provincial partners. So we need this sustainable funding, because these big projects that are coming are going to take a number of years to get into place, and we need to make sure that we have the sustainable funding to keep them coming. So that's my comments.
Don't crash the ambulance. whatever you do.